Oh, bonjour, YouTube. It's Lux LaFemme. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment on my videos. And Madame some insurers, all you luxurious people, please don't forget to click the notification bell. This story here is a cautionary tale of why you... There's a couple of lessons to be learned from this, in my opinion. One, it's okay to have sex with somebody, but don't use that as a way to figure out their personality. You want to figure out their personality first. Don't just have unprotected sex with just anybody because you like how they look. Aesthetics do not denote character. They don't denote character. The second lesson I would say is do not allow your fight or flight to make a decision for you that will cost you dearly. So the story coming out of Maryland is about this young man, and his name is Rajaee Shareef Black. He went on Facebook Live this Saturday after he shot and killed his ex-girlfriend to share what was going on. So some of the words he used, and this again is in the New York Post, he says, "I just did something crazy, man. I just shot my ex-girlfriend in the head, yo. Feel like a dream. I never thought I'd be that guy." Prior to him saying that, he says that he had been in this custody battle with his ex-wife for 3 years, and that his ex-wife accused him of sexually molesting his child. He then talks about, okay, so after the divorce, he meets this young lady, they get together, she gets pregnant. And then they get into this argument, and she says she's going to do him the way the ex-wife did him. He's not going to be able to see his kids. He says, "It's the holidays. I don't have anybody around me." And I watched the video. I'm just not going to post the video here. And he's just like, okay, that's, I've hit my breaking point. So he goes on to say, at the SH to the IT, he's been real crazy, and that he wasn't going to prison. He says, "The person that really started my depression and all of this is my ex-wife. So she's next. And then I'm going to do myself too. But I just want to say this to people. Don't play with people's emotions, man. Don't lie on these men." So this man decided to then kill his ex-wife, because the video ends where he's literally outside of her apartment building. And she comes to the door. He goes, "Oh, here's my ex-wife right now." And then it cuts off. He then proceeds to shoot her in the head, or he kills her. I don't know if he shot her in the head or not, but he kills her and then shoots himself and kills himself. His children were in his car. Left in the car. The article doesn't say how old the children are, and of course in the video it doesn't say how old these children are. So his fight or flight kicked in and said, this is the best way to resolve this issue. And I'm saying fight or flight because a lot of our emotions that are easily triggered, like I don't even know what this man was going through, but I can only imagine that that was enough to trigger him to be like, I gotta kill you, and I gotta kill me too, and not think about the repercussions. And here's the really interesting part about this dude. He was a nurse anesthetist. They make almost $200,000 a year in Arkansas, which is where, if you know anything about the employment, because the quality of life in Arkansas as far as the income median is like 30,000 or something like that. It's not real high. Even in Arkansas, that position pulls in $161,000. Can you imagine making that in a place where the income median is 30,000 across the board? And so that I say that because here's this dude, he's intelligent, because to become a nurse anesthetist, you got to be on your P's and Q's. A lot of biology, a lot of chemistry, a lot. Matter of fact, there's some situations, I mean, nurse anesthetists almost make as much more than an anesthesiologist almost. There they are like neck and neck. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I say all that to say this dude wasn't dumb. He was intelligent. He had to have frontal lobe ability, meaning he could deduce, reason, and reflect. The amygdala, the fight or flight, that's where the fight or flight resides. The amygdala, when it hijacks your brain, you can't think of rational. You don't think rationally. Your behavior is irrational. You will do and say whatever, because the goal is really, once that part of your brain takes over, it's either to fight or to flee. And it's usually to fight the pain or we're going to flee the pain. He decided to fight the pain and flee the pain, and left 2 children in the devastation. On the lead attorney, the discussion is who's to blame. There's a lot of blame to go around. First of all, if he was in a custody battle for 3 years, that meant he wanted his children. He wanted his child, right? He cared about his child's well-being, and wanted his child with him. I've never been fought for custody, ever, by either one of the children of my ex-fiance or my ex-husband. They never did fight me for custody. So I don't have a frame of reference to talk on that. But I know one thing I learned from my mother-in-law from my first marriage is never keep a man from their child. If that man wants their child, let that man have their child. Don't play games with that baby's life like that because you're mad at him. I learned this from a woman I have a deep respect for. She told me that a long time ago. And I held to that belief. I never had problems in family court with either one of them. I never had problems with child support. I never did. I don't particularly care for those 2 particular people. I don't. But it wasn't about me. It was about my children. And so we got along enough for the children. When you get it, and I can honestly, from the bottom of my heart, when I got with these people, I had what I thought was a love in my heart for them. But if I'd have taken the time to really get to know them, I don't think I would have given birth to their children. I'm glad I did. But if I'd have taken the time to get to know them, I don't think I would have had kids by them. To me, even though I've never had any problems with them, we don't, in the long run, we really don't. If it wasn't for the kids, we wouldn't get along. Let me put it that way. Long story short, if it weren't for my children, we would not get along at all. I wouldn't have had nothing to do with these people. But because of the kids, we had to get along. Because it wasn't their fault. We decided to bring them into this world. They're not involved in our mess. We're the ones being messy. Why should they have to suffer for that? And I think we need to get to that point, right? We need to get to that point. Women, don't use your children as weapons against your exes. Don't do it. For the child's sake, be cordial. Men, don't throw your relationships with other women in the mothers of your children in their faces. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now, I do have a story where my ex-husband, we were still married, by the way, where I went to a mall to get, trying to find a job because he and I were not working out. But he said we were going to work on a relationship. I go to the mall looking for a job because I'm trying to find, I didn't even have money for Pampers. And here this man was with another woman, bags full of brand new stuff. I went off big time. Big time. The blessing is that day, I went and I signed up for a program. They called it Women in Transition. And so they paid for you to go to school in a non-traditional career. And I chose information technologies. And from that point forward, my life took a very rocket launched trajectory into a financial stratosphere that I never thought I would ever get to. But in even saying that, I didn't, my kids, if my kids were around, they didn't see us fight like that. Not that I recall. I mean, they may have, and I don't remember, but from the most part, I want to say that didn't happen. They didn't see that. But at no time did I want to kill my ex, even when I caught him with another woman. And that was not the first time I caught him. So I never wanted to kill him. It is not that deep. I wasn't going to catch a case for him or anything like that. Nor did I want to kill myself. I wanted to better myself. Anyway, so who's to blame? Man, the courts, the man, the women, everybody. There's no shortage of blame to go around in this situation. It's tragic. It's a cautionary tale of why you do not want to get involved with someone, raw dog sex with somebody that you really don't know if you like their character. Au revoir, mon amis. We'll talk again.